Hello everyone, Rabbi Abe here. In this video, which I'm totally excited about, in this video I'm going to share 5 Kabbalah secrets that will help you improve your self-esteem and your self-confidence. If you practice these, I guarantee you will be a changed person. Enjoy the video and I'll see you at the other end. Okay, hope everyone is feeling amazing. We are going to talk about a topic today that is actually very near and dear to my heart, which is self-confidence and self-esteem. Why is it near and dear to my heart? Well, I'll tell you, because I grew up the shyest person you would ever want to meet. I could not speak to even one person. I was going to say 2 people at a time, but never mind. I couldn't even speak to one person at a time because I was so painfully shy. In fact, when I was 13 years old, when I turned 13, I told my parents, you know what, I don't agree to have a bar mitzvah because, listen, I know that every kid who gets that bar mitzvah needs to say a speech in front of people. And I am not going to do that. No way, shape, or form. And so they had to talk to the rabbi and make him agree that I wouldn't have to do that. And those were the conditions. In fact, in 6th grade, I turned down the leading role in the show. It was Oklahoma at that time in 6th grade because I was so ashamed to be on the stage at all. I mean, the teacher wanted me to play the lead singing role in the show. I was very happy to work the lights backstage. So that's my shyness. So I got over it a bit, as you may be able to see. I mean, these days I don't mind to speak with a room of 1,000 people. Now, how did that happen? So I'm going to share with you 5 things, and they are secrets. I mean, they themselves maybe don't sound so secret, but the reason why they will absolutely work for you, that is a secret. And I want to first give you a little bit of background. Why would we have a low self-esteem or lack confidence? That's the first question we need to ask. Why? Where does it come from? When I was about 17 years old, I was taking a lot of positive thinking. I was very interested in those things at the time. And so I was reading books, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, maybe some of you are familiar with that, Og Mandino, Key to Yourself, and all of these things which teach about the mind and how important it is, and positivity and all that. And there were recommendations. Again, this was over a couple of years, so now 18, 19 years old. I was living alone already at 19 years old, and the recommendation was to use affirmations, okay? Affirmations. So if you don't know what an affirmation is, in case, I'm sure most of you do, but they are phrases perhaps or mantras that you repeat to yourself and you sort of try to convince yourself of something which perhaps you're not. So I would, put sticky notes all over the place on the bathroom mirror because when I got up in the morning, first place I go is the bathroom and I see these things straight away. You are the greatest. You're the best and all the different mantras. And what do you think? Did it help? Yeah, for 5 minutes. Because as soon as I got a little bit of criticism, poof, it all kind of shattered and it didn't work. P.S. It did not work. And it wasn't only till I began to study the wisdom of the Kabbalah and had the guidance of my teacher who told me, he pointed his finger at me and told me I'm going to teach. And I thought to myself, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. But here I am. So what is the basis of a low self-esteem? It's not physical, okay? A low self-esteem has to do with a spiritual concept, a metaphysical concept that is within us. So the concept is, it's called bread of shame or life guilt. Let's call it that, like that. Life guilt. The official term is bread of shame. Some of you may be familiar, but in case you're not, what is the meaning of life guilt? Well, it means that our soul has an internal characteristic which is different than our body. Okay? Our soul is a pure thing. Our soul knows what it came to the world for. Our soul knows what we need to do. Our soul is also can never be a selfish thing. It doesn't desire for itself ever. In fact, our soul knows exactly what our karma is, what we came to this planet, why we were born to do. Our soul has all of the internal wisdom that we will really ever need. Our soul is a spiritual force that exists within us, which is it's a consciousness force. It includes many things. If that's true, why are we not in touch with it? In other words, if our soul has wisdom, why don't we have wisdom? If our soul knows exactly what we came to do, how come we don't know exactly what we came to do? I mean, sometimes we don't know just even what we're going to have for breakfast, and we can't decide, or what to do in life, or how to live our purpose. Our soul knows. For some reason, we don't. Now, when I say we, what am I talking about? Who are we as opposed to what is our soul? So as the ancient Kabbalists explain, our soul is the spiritual force that exists within the body. It's a force. It's an energetic force of consciousness. We can't see consciousness, but it is all our true desires in life, and it is only for one thing: to do good or positive actions in this world that relate to our objective and purpose in life, the reason why we came. So again, our soul knows that. Look at it as our soul like the computer chip, our spiritual DNA. It includes everything that we need to do the job, why we're here, and everything else. But obviously, it appears that we are not connected with our soul. Not never, but generally not. Generally not. Now, we can't say that in a black and white way, because some people, it appears, are more connected to their soul or less connected to their soul. And something I should also mention, our soul does not have fears. It does not have judgments on people in a negative way. Our soul, again, it doesn't contain the negativity. Well, where does that come from? Well, that comes from the other consciousness. Again, our soul is enclosed in a body. And our body contains a different energy, a different consciousness, almost a lower level of natural consciousness. That's the natural level of the body. Body consciousness is all about me. It's nature. It's survival. It's like when an infant is born, it has only some very basic desires. Feed me, love me, comfort me, okay? Don't let me fall down. Those are the desires. And those desires grow as we grow. But again, they are self-desires, okay? Self-preservation. They are the basic, if you will, animalistic desires. As we grow older, these desires are supposed to develop, and whether they do or they don't, and to what degree, that's a question. That's a question of environment, perhaps our parents' involvement and training in our growth process, and our level of age. So there's 13 in a boy, 12 in a girl. Doesn't matter if you're Jewish or not. This is a certain spiritual age where we begin to take on more responsibility, potentially. And then there's 20 years old where we're sort of on our own and our parents have zero influence in our life anymore. Now, without going into more details about that, there is an obvious difference between the thoughts or the inner consciousness of that body, the body of us, and the soul of us, to whatever degree, can be hugely different. I mean, imagine, let's say, a criminal, a thief, who's only into stealing, maybe hurting people, abusing people. What is the differential between their actions in their body life, their physical life, and their soul and their spirit, their soul? Vastly different. Vastly different. I mean, it's for that reason that, let's say, a child who is not accustomed to lying and perhaps lies for the first time, might have trouble looking into the eyes of his parents, if you understand what I mean. Be looking everywhere and can't, has trouble facing. Of course, when lying, or if lying, I don't want to say when, but if lying becomes a habit, well, then it becomes more comfortable. As with the thief, when he becomes, it might be very uncomfortable for him the first time he steals. But for spiritual reasons, which I won't go into now, eventually it becomes more and more comfortable to do negative actions, okay? He begins to develop a thicker skin and less sensitive to negativity. Again, when we're new or sensitive, it's like we will be very sensitive. But if we insist on doing it again, it's almost like an addiction of some sort to drugs or alcohol. You drink once, you're very sensitive to the substance, and it affects you a lot. But if you keep doing it, if you drink the same amount, for some reason, it doesn't affect you as much. And the tendency is to actually now do more, just to feel the same maybe. So, okay, that difference between the feelings of our body consciousness, the way we feel emotionally and physically, which are all bodily feelings, bodily interpretations, because we are much less tuned, even if we're spiritually sensitive, certainly more so if we are. But again, the more we are into, shall we say, ourselves, for lack of a better term, and in an innocent way. And I want to preface that. What do I mean in an innocent way? We can be selfish, but in a very innocent way. We can be self-serving in a very innocent way. We can be into ourselves and into our own pleasure, but in a very innocent way. What do I mean in a very innocent way? Because nobody ever told me. I never understood that. I don't know the rules of consciousness. I never learned any Kabbalah, okay? Because that's part of what the real Kabbalah teaches. And so I don't know. I just don't understand why I have these issues and relating to what we're discussing now. Why do I feel a lack of confidence? Why do I feel a lack of self-esteem? And the answer is because I am not in line with my soul. I'm not in line with my soul, or I'm less in line with my soul than I could be. Because if I would be, I would feel more confident. Now, please make no mistake. Very good people lack self-confidence. Okay? And it makes no difference if it's your mother, your husband, your wife. Again, they can be very excellent people, but still lack self-confidence. Why? Well, what I can tell you here and now, and I don't want to go off track, is it's not the purpose of our life to be good people, because each one of us are given certain human tasks which are not about being good or bad. It's about change. So that means each one of us will be pushed to change or in a certain direction in life to do certain things, to accomplish certain things, which if we don't do them, we will have life guilt. And we can be an amazing person. Let's say I'm the type of person that just worries too much. Don't call me a bad person. Am I a bad person because I worry too much about my family, about my children? Certainly not a bad person. Good person. But that person will likely lack some self-confidence. Why? Because it's against the nature of the soul and the understanding between the soul and the force of the Creator. Because I'm lacking, perhaps, trust. And trust, again, concern is one thing, but overly worrying, which comes from a control issue, that's another thing. So I have a control issue. I'm not a bad person, but I have a control issue which needs to be dealt with on a spiritual level. And I hope this is clear. We don't have to be a criminal. We can be a really good person and lack self-esteem and self-confidence, because we can have a line of things, several things, which, again, even though we're a good person, things which we should be doing and we're not doing them. So, if we understand that as a principle, again, what's the principle? The principle is the more not in line, the more in conflict I am with my soul, with my life spirit, with the basic force, creator force of sharing, which exists within me, and bestowing in whichever way that needs to happen, changing in whichever way it needs to happen, overcoming myself in whichever way that needs to happen, which are all spiritual actions. The less in line I am, the less I'm doing those things that I need to do, the less self-esteem and confidence I will have. So what's the antidote? What's the answer? So the answer, which is simple for me to say, is to begin to go against that nature. Begin to go against the nature of your body and fall more in line with the nature of your soul. Yeah, but Abe, I don't know exactly what the nature of my soul is. Yes, I understand. So I have 5 kabbalistic secrets, steps, and I'll guarantee you, if you do these things and begin to make these things a part of you, not only will you have more self-confidence and self-esteem, you will find yourself entering into the realm of what we call miracles, the unnatural. Why? Because the spiritual rule is when you do what's unnatural for you, nature will do unnatural things, which we call miracles, for you in your life. That's an amazing thing. So let's explore these 5 things. First, you should have a mantra when you wake up every morning. And the mantra, it's a simple mantra. The mantra should be, how can I help in every interaction, if possible? Again, simple question. How can I help, and be willing to do something to help? How can I help in every interaction, or at the minimum of 1 interaction today? Again, it needs to be possible and accessible to me. And I promise you, we all get at least 1 interaction situation that will enable us to help in that situation. And we probably haven't done it. Okay? So that's number 1. How can I help? That's number 1. Number 2, and I love number 2. Number 2 doesn't look related to this at all, but I assure you it is. Number 2, start letting go, even throwing out or giving away things in your closet, in storage that you do not use. What is that? What does that have to do with self-confidence or self-esteem? Well, I'll tell you. When you hold on to things, what's the reason? Can you give a reason? I mean, things that you're not using, you have no intention of using them, but, it's sentimental or whatever it is. And I'm not talking about old heirlooms, family heirloom. No, I'm talking about junk that you're saving. You keep. I mean, I'm a saver, right? I have storage for my storage until I throw the stuff out, right? So if you're a saver, a hoarder, it's especially important for you. So I'm talking to you. Get rid of the things. Sell it or give it away. Let it be used. Why? Because it is taking up your energy. It's holding you hostage. It's holding your energy. The energy that comes from your spirit, it's holding it captive. You're a slave. You're a slave to it. The moment you release it, give it away, sell it, whatever, better that it should be used and elevated than you, or thrown away, than you holding on to it. Why? Because At that moment, that's a let go, and you will release your energy. You free it up. And when you free up your energy, you have more energy of your soul, which gives you the force to speak, to do, to handle. You have more energy available to you. And that's why number 2 is very important. Let go of your stuff. Number 3, and this is different than number 1, find one thing each day that you can do, big or small, that will take you out of yourself. It will take you out of yourself. Well, what do I mean by that? It means some opportunity comes along, or you see something. It's not necessarily for you to do, but you can do it, and you see it. You become aware of it. But it will require you to let go of yourself, come out of yourself. It's going to be difficult, okay? A difficult action that is a positive action. I'm not talking about, it's difficult for you to rob a bank, so go plan the crime now. No, I'm talking about maybe it's to help a friend. Maybe it's to give a little charity. Maybe it's the guy you see on the corner panhandling, and you really don't want to give him any money, but you go inside yourself and you give him some charity. Or you help an organization with some charity today. Every day, it's important to find at least one action that requires us to let go of ourself, meaning of our ego, selfishness. Or here's a different type of example. Someone says something to you that you don't like, and you right away want to defend yourself and answer back. You know how you can let go of yourself in this moment? Shut up. Don't answer. Don't defend yourself. Don't defend yourself. Take it in, meditate on it, and see what the message might be for you. So don't shoot the messenger right away. Take it in, let it become an introspection for you, and see what message the universe is wanting to give you. Now, that may be very difficult for you. Again, you might have the nature that you're naturally invert. No. Yeah, you know what I want to say. The word escapes me. But you're naturally kind of inward, and you would never say anything. So in that case, since your nature might be different, you should say something in a polite way, but in that case, you should open your mouth, and that would be very difficult for you to do. So that depends on your nature. Okay, what is your nature? What is your nature? So you need to ask yourself that question in that moment. But find one thing that you can do that will take you out of yourself. That is number 3. Number 4, when you see a new opportunity opens up and it's possible for you and it's a positive thing to do, jump on it. Jump on it. Don't think. Don't think. Now, this sounds similar maybe to number 3. It's not at all. Not at all. If it's helping, if it's this, it's that, okay, the opportunities come. It may not be every day. It's to give of yourself. Maybe it's to volunteer. And the thought crosses your mind, maybe I should. And right away, the next thought is, nah, what was I thinking? No. If the thought enters your mind that it's a possibility, jump on it. We call that the flash. And jump on the flash of that thought. Why? It came to help you. But the moment your logic and reasoning kicks in, it's probably going to be destroyed. That idea, that opportunity is probably going to be destroyed. So don't think, jump on it as best as you can. Again, it might be also feel like a pinch. It's hard. What did I just get myself into? Don't think. Don't think. That thinking in that moment will just get you into trouble. Okay? The logical mind, because it comes from a higher place, not the logic, not the rational thinking. And when something comes from there, it's a higher level. So you should act on it. You should act on it. And it will net beautiful things. And number five, very simple. Go to bed with 2 things. An abundance of appreciation for the entire day, whether you enjoyed it, whether you didn't enjoy it, if you did, if you didn't, doesn't matter. Get yourself introspective and think, you didn't even have to wake up this morning. You got the blessing to take your breath this morning and wake up and get out of bed. So whether you experience an amazing day, a so-so day, a horrible day, go to bed with an abundance of appreciation for the day. That's part one. Part two is release everybody in your life during the day, and even in any time in the past that you're still holding on to them because of something they said to you, because of what they did to you, because of some injustice, or because of an insult, or whatever it is. Hold no liabilities or judgment against anybody. Why? Because this will allow your soul to elevate at night, which would go into another discussion of sleep and how we sleep and what causes even a better night's sleep, but that's for another video. But it will release you and release them, because if I'm holding somebody hostage energetically, it's holding me back too. So again, whether they deserve it, they don't deserve it, is not the discussion. For us, we don't want to hold on to anybody's energy. Again, whatever they did to us, in Kabbalah, forgiveness really means not I forgive you. It's true, that's one level of forgiveness, but it's understanding my soul contract with that individual who did whatever they did. So again, don't want to get into that, another discussion, but keep in mind that we have soul contracts with people, and whoever did us wrong, that's only in the movie the way we see it. But actually, at some level, we requested this, and we need to, even if we want to even take it a step further, thank them and thank their soul for agreeing to do that, to dance with me on this stage. In any case, whether we understand that or not, it's very important, again, an abundance of appreciation, and to release anyone and everyone, whoever I feel did me wrong in any way, shape, or form, bodily, monetarily, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it is, makes no difference. Release them. Release them. And the more you're able to let them go, all these things that I have mentioned, these are spiritual secrets. And if you do them to the best of your ability, you will increase your self-confidence, and you will increase your self-esteem by leaps and bounds. You will feel less inhibited. You're going to feel more free to be able to open yourself up. Why? Because now you're more in touch with your soul, and your soul doesn't have inhibitions. You cannot convince your body. We can't convince our body to be the great person that, and convince our subconscious. No, our subconscious is connected to our soul. The more we become in line with our soul, the more we begin to remove that life shame, we will find no problem in opening ourselves up to new situations that were perhaps once embarrassing, perhaps public speaking, whatever it is. Trust me, this will work, okay? And I would love to hear your feedback and comments. Be blessed. Please give this video a thumbs up and share it with those who you feel will benefit. Subscribe if you're not already, and hit the bell icon for notifications. All the best, and thank you very much if you made it till the end of the video. All the best.